Welcome, everyone. I see that more people are signing in. We are connected with Veneto once again. We wish we were in Verona today, but unfortunately we have to do this remotely. We decided to connect to our producer we're supposed to see today in Verona in a virtual way. That's why we have Massimo Tonini, representative of Nardini, historical distillery in Bassano del Grappa. Massimo, welcome to LLS at Home. We imagine yourself in your booth at Vinitaly and a group of 10 people, like it happens for the last 40 years, you know, that Wine Boy has been coming to Vinitaly, walking into your booth, and you welcome us, and you go over your presentation just like we were there. So talk a little bit about your company, maybe some exciting news, new things that you would present at Vinitaly. Sure. So go ahead.
Well, this year we were not supposed to have a booth at Vinitaly, by the way, so we were hosting together with Zardetto a magnificent event at Palazzo Verità Poeta that we scheduled in advance to do a great treat to our American friends. Unfortunately, we have to do it virtually. We did also a fantastic contest yesterday, so thank you for organizing. It was fun, I must admit. All the team was very happy. And congrats not only to the winner, who did also a little bit of a show, quite nice, but also to the creativity of all the teammates. We had some great inspiration from you guys, also to extend some of the recipes to our Garage Nardini. We were in a speakeasy mode last night because, as you know, everything is blocked. So we were really underground and making cocktails, you know, in a moonshine manner. Anyway, thank you for having me here today. A couple of words on me, since I joined forces with Nardini only a few months ago. I've been in the industry, specifically in the wine industry, for 15, 18 years. So I'm a wine guy, as most of you, but not only. And really, really excited to learn more and develop hopefully more on the spirit side with Nardini. I'm a Veneto-born, Treviso-born guy. So I grew up with Nardini. Sal?
Yes,
Sal,
your connection is a little slow. Try again. Repeat what you just said.
I'm a Veneto-born guy. I was born in Treviso, which is my hometown. Now living in Padua, so not too far, but just west, in the middle between Treviso and Verona, where we should be today, just to make it simple. And as I said, I grew up with Nardini, meaning that my parents, my grands, always had a Nardini as an after dinner, as a collezione on the coffee. So it's part of my background and my culture. So I'm very honored and to be part of the family. By the way, Nardini remains a family-owned business. Despite some changes occurred last July, the family is still aboard. So we don't have any external investor. It's still 100% on the Nardini family base. The change is mostly at the management level. That's why my appointment. The gentleman sitting on my left last night is our new CEO, who is part of the Nardini. He's a shareholder, so he's not an external guy. So I would say it's a business as usual in terms of business, but with a change of management and hopefully a change of vision, and hopefully, despite the contingency period we're living with the COVID, but hopefully a change of gear in terms of performance, results, with great expectations also on the export market. So I'm sure you're familiar with the story of Nardini, but I will go quickly through the milestones. So the most important date within the company and the business is 1779, when Bortolo Nardini, actually from Trentino, came and settled down in Bassano. You have to consider that there is a river flowing through Bassano, which is called Brenta. And as you can imagine, in the 18th century, rivers were quite strategic as routes to transport goods and merchandise in general. So Bassano as a main port and city was quite strategic for people to trade, basically. And at the time, distillation was still, moonshine, as I said before, was still made door to door from people with an equipment and going to the farmhouses doing distillation at home. So the first innovation of Bortolo was to settle down and start distilling in a stable place. So basically the farmers came to Nardini to deliver their pomace, and Nardini started to sell, controlling the quality and the process, the fresh grappa and distillation that was offered at the time. Philosophy, I would say, didn't change that much, although the business increased significantly in over 2 centuries, as you can imagine. So until, I would say, 10 years ago, the main production site was still in Bassano, not at the Ponte, because that's a very narrow and tiny, I would say, space compared to today's needs. And still in Bassano, we have all the, I would say, vintage equipment of the 60s, which is fantastic, with all the alembics in copper, really scenic. But we also took advantage of opening a second site, production site, actually in the Treviso province. Let's say it's a 1-hour drive south, which is more strategic, not only industrially, but also because it's closer to the supply area where we basically source our pomace. So just for you to know, we are one of the few, I would say, distillery that is 100% integrated with the production cycle of grappa. So translating, we don't buy 1 drop of grappa in the market. Everything is controlled at the plant in Monastier in Treviso, meaning that we need to have strong relations with our suppliers to make sure we have the best pomace possible to do our job. So the area of collection is, I would say, 95, probably 8% is Veneto. And mostly, I would say, the area of southeastern Veneto, the Piave area. In that region, as you are surely familiar with, in the last, I would say, 20 years, part of the cultivation of the grapes changed a lot in favor of Prosecco, for instance, our dearest friend at Zardetto, although they are in the Conegliano area, but that was not a great take for us, because we prefer red grapes, to be honest, for distillation. They give the best results, and still today we have quite a decent supply in terms of quantity, not in quality, but decent, meaning availability of Merlot, Cabernet, so the classic Bordeaux blend. And we have also another indigenous grape, which is called Raboso, typical of Piave, which is very tannic, and although in tiny portions, it's really, really great to deliver good results and good concentration for our aromas. So in the end, what we do is keeping the supply separated when it's coming in, because of course there is a cycle of production. Normally the white grapes come first. Prosecco, as I mentioned before, is an early grape these days, so sometimes end of August we are already stocking pomace ready to re-ferment and then distill. So we keep the pomace stocked and separated, and we distill from time to time. Normally the process goes on until, I would say, March, April. Of course, all the pomace are preserved properly, stored properly. And in the meantime, the fermentation process is granting the proliferation of sugars, which are, as you know, necessary to make distillation happen and to convert sugars into alcohol, just to make it simple. So I hope in pills I gave an idea of where we are and what we do for distillation. As far as the liquor, Amaro in our case, which is quite a little success story with you guys in the US, so all the liquor side of our business is actually managed in Bassano, where we have the production plant. So the grappa is only distilled in the Treviso area, and the pomace is stored there. Then it's transferred to Bassano. Bassano is the headquarters. The offices are there. We have a wonderful architectural jewel, which is the Bolle from Fuxas. So all the headquarter features and buildings are there, including bottling, production, shipment, and all you can imagine in a typical commercial and sales activity. Well, in the end, we are a small company, I would say. Medium, call it as you like. Overall, we employ just over 50 persons. A good portion of those are dedicated to the production warehouse size. We have a nice marketing team of 3 persons. We have a back office team of 3 persons. Of course, administration, and overall, it's a small group. Nice teammates. I was very glad to join a team that was already well assembled, and we are trying to work hard to deliver, as I said in advance, some news and some innovation to our portfolio. So unfortunately, I cannot talk about vintages today, although well, we have vintages also in the pomace, because when a vintage is good, also the pomace has a better quality. So we can try to introduce a little bit our idea of the portfolio of the future for Nardini, considering that we are not in to make revolutions, but just to probably streamline the assortment, which means focusing on the dimensions of the assortment that possibly can give us better success and better results. Just to give you an idea, today we have in the family of the grappas, probably excluding the selezione, just the standard, I would say, classics grappas, we have probably 12 SKUs, varying on ABV, alcohol by the volume, varying on aging, so Riserva versus Bianca. In that side of the portfolio, we already discussed this. Sorry, my plug. This idea with Ted and Giovanni and the team. We are in to streamline the portfolio and focus, especially in your market, guys, on 2 SKUs. So the format will remain the standard liter, which is, I would say, quite successful on and off, and we will keep going with the Grappa Bianca, as you know, and of course with the Riserva. The idea was to simplify the assortment in terms of label recognition. So the iconic image of Nardini, I would say, especially in the domestic market, which is still dominant for Grappa and for Nardini. We are, I would say, 80% domestic, just to give you an idea. The iconic image of Nardini is the classic white label with the Grappa or Aquavit in our market. So we want to reinforce the heritage of Grappa. We want to reinforce that brand image. And in the case of the US market, we were suggesting and thinking, but we can discuss it probably at the end of the presentation, focusing on the 40 ABV alcohol content, which is more versatile. Sometimes it's also more, let me say, convenient in terms of duties. So positioning wise and promotion wise, we can play probably a different game. And in terms of versatility, I would say that 40 ABV, as probably Antonio Guarda Nardini has been repeating for some years in the last at least decade, is more versatile for mixology. So what we believe moving forward is that grappa has a potential there. Actually, there was a fantastic cocktail last night made with the Bianca that was sour. We love very much. If you consider, guys, what happened with tequila, that until a few years ago was mostly ethnic or small, let's say, and what happened in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, I don't exclude, and somehow I dream that could happen with a product like grappa. We can contribute to that, I think. You, as an important distributor, us as producer, to develop the grappa culture and grappa knowledge and understand the potential in mixology. There are some believers amongst the bartender community in Italy and also in your country, guys. So the starting point of our revamped strategy is exactly this point. Unfortunately, this happens in a moment where everything is shut down, which doesn't simplify, because we had quite an allocation in our marketing budget to exactly develop the mixology concept behind grappa. But this hopefully will happen moving forward, and we can in any case stimulate this also for home consumption moving forward. So first point, simplify, streamlining the assortment of grappa into, I would say, 2 key SKUs, which are the white label, if I can define it like that, so no longer green, and the creamy label for the Riserva. Then there is, as you probably can experience also in your market, a huge momentum, a great momentum for bitters and aperitifs. As you know, we have our local jewel and winner, which is mezzo and mezzo. We don't intend to develop something which is local globally from dawn to dusk, but given, for instance, what's going on, we don't exclude that we can, for instance, pre-mix the mezzo and mezzo in cans, and this could become a completely different, tool or product to propose to the market, because also canned, pre-mixed, as Sal knows pretty well, have quite a hype, quite a trend to explore. So we would like to take advantage of a selective situation like a crisis to emerge with probably different solutions. But back to the aperitif side, you are doing quite, I would say, a nice job with the bitter. Bitter is there to stay. We will have actually a new fellow in the range. And I'll tell you also the rationales behind. So our bitter, to my personal point of view, actually I have a bottle here in my shop. If you want, I can grab it. But is a perfect winner for spritz. So simple, as an alternative to other classics. I would say Aperol was the opener for the spritz culture also in Italy, and I know it's happening also in your country, guys. But bitter, Nardini bitter, I would say, has a tasting profile which is soft enough to create the perfect spritz, which is my recent addiction due to the COVID situation. Me and my wife, we have more or less every second day Nardini bitter spritz at home, which is nice. Just garnished with a zest of lemon, as you know, with the Prosecco, Zardetto can be killer for sure. And I know that you have been doing an amazing job on that to develop this, because for you it's a win-win. But seriously, it's a great selling point for our bitter. Of course, its versatility goes also in other directions for mixology. But we decided to develop a fellow, as I define it. It will be called bitter chinato. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We just want to maybe non touch on the chinato until we non dire gatto, a meno che non ce l'ha nel sacco. So,
right.
but I want you to talk about the new labels you are developing, because I think I actually put them in front of. I can share it with everybody, the new labels, if you want to.
Well, let's do it.
There it is. So, can you see the new labels, everyone? Let's see if I'm sharing.
I see yes from Sarah Nagel.
Awesome, perfect. So
Cool.
you want to go over the labels that?
Yeah, well, let's start from the left. This is a preview because well, the bitter is final, meaning that it's exactly as it will be. As you can notice, we didn't change the bottle shape, but we changed the label and the attributes. Brand-wise, we are no longer, Nardini and then all the rest. Nardini is at the foot with an heritage on 1779. The capsule is aluminium, no longer plastic, a little bit more stylish, and definitely, I would say, more contemporary classic. We change the bottle shape on Cedro and on the Amaro. Now you're looking at the Rabarbaro as
yeah, I have the Amaro separate.
Okay, no worries.
I was able to separate all these things. That's why it's this format is via email. I had to do something quick while you were talking.
No worries. But it's just a good reason to introduce quickly the packaging, because then we receive an appropriate presentation to introduce all the lines and everything. So Acqua di Cedro in this case, don't look at the let's say yellow on the label, because that was an initial proposal from our designer. The bottle shape is confirmed. It will be all transparent, so crystal clear. As you can see, we keep the fruit, which was the symbol also in the previous label. The shape of the label has been chosen together with the Amaro and Rabarbaro to answer a specific need. The idea was to degrappizzare, so to reduce the weight and the heritage of grappa in the liquor component of the portfolio. Not because we don't like our heritage, don't get me wrong, but also to be distinctive and to create a sort of brand in the brand. So Acqua di Cedro is a brand in the brand now. Same we did with Amaro and Rabarbaro, keeping always, as you can see, the common ground here is that Nardini is at the bottom as a signature with the 1779 of every design and every label. So most of the inspiration of these labels, for instance, the Rabarbaro, are coming from original design used by the Nardinis in the 50s. I think personally they are really beautiful. I mean, it was already there. We just had to revamp a little bit the design and update it to today's need and be more distinctive. I think quality-wise, I'll leave it to you guys, but I would say that the ingredients we use and the process we use are granting consistency and I would say high-quality standards in our products. So having something that can be also a little bit of an eye-catcher can only help selling better and hopefully selling more, which is the reason why we are doing all this mess. Because we believe there is a potential for the brand to grow. So this is a triplet. Oh, nice.
Let's see what the results are on the polls. I just launched a poll to see what you think about the new direction of the labels. So,
cool, like it. Sal, can you share, for instance, the Amaro also? Or is it too much?
No, absolutely. I can. I share all three of them, so we just have a little bit of maybe a poll. All right.
Yep.
There we go.
Cool. Thanks. Yes, on the Amaro, we are finalizing the decision, meaning that you are, I would say, the exception somehow, although the US, although quite a significant market for our Amaro, and you are the exception because you are adopting a black, dark, I would say, label these days, while in the domestic market and worldwide, we are into the orange side. So the idea also in this case is to streamline and to go in one direction. Also in this case, I don't know if you want to have a second pool, but having a feedback from your team would help to take a proper decision, because in the end, we need to keep only one level going. Consider that then all the details, the gold foil and all this stuff is in progress, but it's going to be definitely nice. As you can see, all these proposals are based on the classic T-closure in wood, so very elegant, boutique. High connection.
Yeah, the connection. Meanwhile,
can you hear me?
I can. Yes, I can, but it's going in and out. So I'm going to report the results. Looks like the question that I asked was, do you like the new direction, of the labels and packaging? And it was overwhelming. 100% said yes. So that's pretty good. So 100%. I don't think you can be any better than that. So we're doing good on the new direction.
May I take a picture of this? Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I don't know if you want to have. Of course, we want to packaging and image, but at the same time, you understand we are revamping a little bit the level, so we need to take a decision. I give you my point of view on the colors. I think that orange is recalling something more citrusy, like orange. It's definitely more of a warm color.
Yeah, it looks like
I like it, although our mint side, maybe we can do a mix. Tell me, Sal?
Go ahead, continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I have a full idea, Sal, and I don't know what's going on. Let me check. I have lost it. Apparently it's all. We can also consider something in between, but these are the proposals these days. If you have any feedback that you want to share on our Amaro direction, we are more than glad to
Yeah, I cannot do any more polling.
It's your report because you are a key market, you are in a poll,
so because
okay.
I'm having some issues. I'm having some issues with the poll. I'm gonna tell all I'm gonna tell everybody to actually just put 1, 2, or 3 on your chat, so we'll know exactly what it is, because the poll is not working right now. So.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Continue.
Yes, in the same document I anticipated to you, there are some other new entries that if it is premature to disclose, I can quit it here at the extent with the beta chinato. Can I explain this point, or?
Well, we have to agree upon bringing that in first, but okay, why not?
No, but it's not. I don't mean I want to sell it to you, but I will sell it elsewhere, and I tell you the rationales on why we developed a different bitter. Anyway, we feel that a bitter for the typical Americano culture needs to have more concentration and vegetal side, needs to be more bitter, and our bitter is not, because it's a little bit rounder and softer. So we decided to go into the Chinato in cooperation with a couple of stellar bartenders here in our beautiful country. You've been to the club?
Unfortunately, you are coming in a little staggered. There is some problem with your connection.
You want me to reconnect?
No, because we only have 15 minutes, and by the time you reconnect, it just goes in and out. But now looks like it's working. So perhaps, yeah, continue.
I'm sorry, I'm just 2 meters from my modem. So, no, the idea of the second bitter was to go more in the Americano culture. So Americano means bitter and vermouth, as you know, and you need to have a bitter that plays its role as a real bitter with vermouth to win in the Americano scene. And we did, hopefully, a nice job with a panel of bartenders, as I said, and with our technical director and the team. We did all blind tasting and sampling, so we are there. So basically, this is the portfolio where we will be focusing moving forward. So the idea was, as I said before, streamlining, rationalizing and simplifying the grappa proposition, introducing the mixology culture, and of course expanding to new opportunities, especially in the aperitif section, with refurbished, more fancy, more glamour look and image.
So
you on the idea of tell me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, the connection goes in and out. But just for the matter of the poll, it looks like the label number 3 on the Amaro is the one that people are gravitating. Number 3. So it's the darker one is the one that they are gravitating towards. So I got a few people voting and telling me that they like number 3. Just, you can bring that back to your company, and the 10 people that were pulled here liked the third thing. And in terms of the Chinato, I completely agree with you. There is a market for it. There's a request. People, mixologists, are looking for alternatives to the classic Angostura and Campari and the Amaro, and mixing all this. I guess old type of Amaros. They're not really new. They're old. They have a lot of history, but they are new for this market. So there is definitely a need and a request for the direction you are taking.
That's cool. So. Cool. What else? As you know, we have a portion of the range which is the latest born is called the Selezione line. You will implement hopefully soon the 7 years Riserva. It's going to be, I would say, a luxury proposition in our portfolio, targeting something like $100 retail. And that was discussed and introduced, of course, before my arrival. So it was in progress, and once this scary movie will be over, hopefully we will have room also to start shipping also some prestige and luxury products. So I think, we received your information, the reports from the market. We are fully aware that we are not in the best momentum because our brand is still dependent for probably 65% on the on-premise channel. But of course, we are faithful, and hopefully the situation will change and improve. Otherwise, for sure, we will have to explore opportunities also in other brackets of the market. And see, especially with some products where consumption can be easily directed home. Do you have any comments on this? What do you think within our portfolio can be easier to be diverted into home consumption these days?
Well, I'm gonna let the attendees maybe try to respond via the chat. I'll give a couple of minutes, then I will otherwise try to answer what I feel. There we go. Somebody just
Peter.
The bidder. So yeah, I guess you can see exactly what the attendees are saying. The bidder will be, for Maria, the easiest thing to transition. I do agree. I also see a little bit more room for Amaro as well. People are starting to use the things that found in the restaurants. They cannot go to the restaurant, so they are bringing it home. So the various stores or delivery systems, like the Drizzly, Minibar, as well as liquor store, are actually shipping, as well as restaurants, which in some states are allowed to ship alcohol to premises because of a little relaxation of some of the laws. They are definitely considering and purchasing things like Amaro and bitters so they can make their own concoction.
Cool.
So
I think the Amaro is definitely easier if you exclude the mixology culture. Still unstable, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
I have some instability message. Sorry, guys. Now, I think the Amaro is definitely more versatile and easy because you just need a little bit of ice, or straight if you like it. Well chilled, I think Acqua di Cedro is also a great opportunity because can be used both for easy aperitifs or as an after dinner shot, chilled. Bitter, yes. I don't know how the culture of mixing is evolving.
It is, while your connection gets back, it is.
If it's starting, I think it's probably not as easy, but
what I was going to say is that we are improvising ourselves all as mixologists at home. I've seen hundreds of videos of people making their own concoction at home. So they are experimenting. Again, they have nothing to do. They are sitting on a screen, all day, and then they would go to a restaurant in the evening. On the way home, they will go to a bar and have a drink before go back home and have dinner. It's not happening. So happy hour, virtual happy hours, all these things are happening all over the United States, I'm pretty sure the world. So people are improvising themselves mixologists, so they are using all the things that you're mentioning. The bidder, I think that is being used. So we can see some kind of positivity in the situation that we are in.
Okay. Yeah. No, we're doing the same here. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but I'm drinking a little bit more. Probably better, meaning that, yeah, you give yourself a treat. You have to, because you are at home, as you said, and you want to explore and give yourself a treat. Yeah.
Correct. So I found my wife started making Mai Tais. She was born in Hawaii and she's making Mai Tais now. I'm like, I don't think I ever seen her drinking Mai Tais. And so, like, okay.
Nice. Lucky you.
All right. Anybody else has any question for Massimo? Hold on. There's something just popped up. Non una question for midday beverage. Oh, okay. Somebody drinks a shot of Cedro inside the espresso. It's a different Rasentine, right? Or Resentine.
It's a sweet Resentine. I know that in some culture there is, in some countries there is a culture of serving espresso with a zest of lemon on the side, which is different, and why not? I mean, the bitterness of coffee with the bitterness of the lemon, the citrusness can be a great combination. So nice tip. Thank you.
All right. So Massimo, anything you want to tell the sales force which is connected with you and will be also connected in many other places? So anything you want to tell us? Any kind of advice? Any kind of last words? Or encouragement words, I should say.
Well, encouragements are quite needed these days because definitely we are in the middle of a pandemic that we all know, and we hope that first of all of you, your families, your friends, and your beloved are staying safe, and hopefully business is going to be back on track once the situation will normalize. Luckily. Although, as I guess it's for you guys, we are experimenting a slight decline in business these days. We are lucky enough to be part, I'm talking about the Nardini side, of a very solid company. So in this sense, Nardini is here to stay because 241 years are not enough. So this is the encouraging message, I hope, for all of us. The other encouraging message is that all these innovation and restyling are not going to impact dramatically on pricing, on retail pricing, because we discussed with Giovanni and Ted the price schemes for all the categories, and we want to stay competitive and actually inject more money in the market to build business and the brand reputation. So I hope this is the second encouraging message. Well, we all know that the US is a market with demographics that are in favor of at least a portion of our portfolio. I would say all the Amaro's aperitifs are definitely contemporary. We should work all together in developing a grappa culture, as I said before, because that is, I would say, a different category, a different beast. But I'm sure that this is going to happen. I know the dream of Antonio. He has been a big believer for years, I would say, of grappa in cocktails. And I'm sure that this is going to come. I would dream to be aboard with a team that will be ready for that and preparing the ground for that to happen. So I'm sure that we are in the right hands.
All right, thank you very much, Massimo. I appreciate your being here with us. I'll see you tonight for a little toast all together. Hopefully, also Antonio and the other members of the team will be able to join us. Right?
Why not?
Everybody.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the connection, but I hope you got at least 90-95% of my...
98.7, Massimo. No worries. It's good.
Oh, that's great.